Welcome back to TOT. We got Robbie White in the building right now to
Let's clap it up for Robbie.
You got my hands already moving. You should have seen him already going for him. Our Celtics liaison, if you will.
Yeah, we're here to talk a little C's, talk about the NBA Finals next year, just because that's going to be who's coming out of the East. But I don't know who wants to start it. If you want me to intro, I can. I mean, me to start off.
Well, how are you feeling? How are you feeling about the general direction of the squad in this offseason? How are you feeling about the moves you guys made?
It's classic C's. They're traders. I mean, they're my squad, but they'll give anyone away for a bag of popcorn. Like it's the ongoing thing that they'll just give anyone up. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, how good you are. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it to an extent. I love Jrue Holiday. He's just a better Marcus Smart. I hate to say that, but
Facts.
He is for sure. The only thing is though, and it's the first thing I said to Finn when I got the call from Matt that this trade happened, is our rim protection is out the window. So that's the negative right there. But positives are we upgraded on Jrue Holiday, but
it's a shame for you to lose your Robert.
Brogdon gone too is tough.
Yeah,
so
you're losing your Robert twin.
Yeah, that too. No more Robbie Dubs on the squad. I really was hurt by that, but I mean, if it's going to help us win a championship, I'm for it. So,
yeah, I mean, going off the rim protection thing, we can just get right into it. I think, one, Porzingis, for all his gripes, is a good help side defender and will block shots if someone gets past your perimeter defense.
He shades well.
Yeah, like he's a good weak side defender. Yeah, and
he has good intuition on that kind of stuff. I've seen some stuff about that.
Yeah, so I think that, but also like we just did a Bucks video. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. But we just were saying like Derek White, Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum is by far and away the best perimeter defense on any NBA team by a fucking mile. And it's like terrifying to even think about because one, it neutralizes all of like the wing threats basically in the East to a certain extent. Like obviously the great ones will get it done, but like having guys like just me thinking about the Cavs, like last year, I felt like we matched up with you guys well. And then now having the only way we get a switch is getting on Porzingis and like having the other guys in the back. It's just tough. Like switching between Jrue Holiday, Derek White, like it's impossible. It's impossible.
Those guard PNRs, like the Celtics might change the way the league works. Nobody's finna run anything like that against them because it's just going to be null and void. It's going to be an ineffective strategy.
All I know is this new team, even though I don't think it's going to be an issue because I don't think we'll run into them if we make it to the finals, is this team right now would have the Warriors 2 years ago. Just it would have been a sweep right there. Like
pushing them around.
They would have nothing they could do. But, I mean, it's now, and I don't think the Warriors are going to be in contention. So
I'm in that camp.
12.
The one. The one, the only. I used to be your own TOT C's analyst last season, but that is no longer. But I'm a little skeptical. I would love for Porzingis to stay healthy throughout the entirety of the season. That is something that I hope for. Never wish anything bad on any players, but I know his history. And I'm afraid that may be a liability for the rest of the offense. But your starting three, you got Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. All can score the ball on an elite level, but also defend. You know what I'm saying? And I was listening to Joe Mazzulla with JJ Redick, and Joe seemed very confident in the midst of all the chaos that was going on behind the scenes with the coaching staff last season, where he needed to uphold Ime Udoka. I think that he handled it well, and the way that he spoke about it made it seem as if losing such a integral piece like Marcus Smart, that's really losing the heart of the team that they had. Jrue Holiday, I don't think is going to be able to fulfill that, which gave the team a boost in a way, but he will help them in a different like kind of mechanism because of the defense that he provides, added on to Brown and Tatum. But
you guys cool if I touch on that interview real quick? Oh, my fault. You
go
lagged.
Go.
No, it lagged and I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish your thought. I was just gonna touch on the interview. It lagged, and I thought you were done talking.
I was just gonna say, I think Joe is gonna know what to do with this offense, and I'm excited to see if they can still be a top 5, maybe top 3 team in the East.
My fault about that 12.
No,
I think
go
it's
ahead.
super interesting to hear Joe Mazzulla talk about last year. He said he was really concerned about the 1 seed. Did you see that part of the interview, Slim?
Yeah,
I saw it too.
He was like, I need to worry about the guys I have in front of me. And that was, as a rookie coach, something I had to get over. That was a hill I had to climb. I thought it was really cool to hear insight. It honestly sounded like 2 coaches talking, him and JJ. JJ's just goated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shout out JJ.
But like him talking about JJ, come on the pod. Him talking about like, I need to not be worried about other teams. A lot of the times I would scheme up for other teams weeks in advance. I would do things, this, that, and the third. Like, I need to have the guys in front of me as a well-oiled machine that they can push without me being there. That kind of thing. Like, that was cool to hear. He seems like I wasn't a fan of his. I mean, I was a fan of his from that God interview. But after that interview with JJ Redick, I'm now a fan of his. I think he's a great level-headed dude. I think he's a good coach.
He knows ball.
He really does know ball, bro.
Okay, let me hop in here. He doesn't know ball compared to Ime. Ime was.
Well,
that's
I mean,
tough.
like, are we gonna deny the fact that the Celtics had a way better coach?
Yeah, but there's not a lot of coaches in the NBA that know ball more than Ime.
And he's and
he was a Celtics coach 2 years ago. So that's all I'm saying is that like we downgraded there. I will say though, I do hope for a big leap this year, but Mazzulla's got to prove it because he's got a better squad this year too, and he's got that, like, he can't call himself a rookie coach anymore. I think his main issue could be, this is kind of just a hunch on my point, is he's really young, so like he hasn't been around the game as long as these old head coaches. But I mean, there is a lot of young coaches in the league, but I mean,
he's the youngest.
Exactly, and he's got players on his squad that are older than him, so like he's got a Horford that could probably run the team better than him, but. I think I got good hopes, but
you're anti Joe Mazzulla?
No, I like him. I like his character and I like who he is. I just don't know if he can coach yet. He didn't prove it last year.
Yeah, I think my one gripe with the Celtics all last year that I felt like they would run into trouble down the line, which they did, is they were so live or die by the 3, it felt like, and I felt like that was kind of on Joe Mazzulla. One, because I don't think Tatum and Brown are the best ball handlers, and they're not, like, they're good at going downhill, but they can't isolate in the way that you expect 2 star players
Tatum
to
can.
Isolate. Huh? Tatum
no,
can.
I agree with Matt though. He's not gonna dice a dude up and then like he's gonna put his head down and go to the rack. Like he's not. Like, when's the last time you saw Tatum put a dude on his ass? Like, never.
It's not like that though. He's like a hezzy pull-up kind of guy, like KD.
Yeah, that's not going by someone though. Like, he's not gonna.
It doesn't stress that
isolation buckets.
He can create space, like if that's what you're trying to say.
But like that doesn't stress a defense in the way that you should if you're a star player.
Exactly, and if you're not hitting from the perimeter, like it's nothing. Like if you're talking Kyrie, one game he can step back and he can do that, and if he's not hitting from perimeter, he's just going to go straight to the bucket and get around anyone. Like Tatum's not like that.
There was times last year they hit big time lulls, and I remember droughts of score. They had long scoring droughts.
Yeah, and then when they were like when Tatum was clicking, like they were the best team in the league by far. Like what was it, Game 7 versus the Sixers last year? Like, or was it 6? Am I?
Yeah,
it was Game 7. He had the 50 burger. How does Deuce affect Tatum's legacy?
Deuce is a GOAT for sure, but Deuce.
He probably missing Uncle Marcus. He's missing Uncle Marcus.
He probably is. I mean, who wouldn't? Marcus
and Uncle Grant. And Uncle Grant, for all that I hate him.
Oh, he loved Grant. Dude, him and Grant they had 99 chem.
That's the thing too that I want to bring up is the Celtics now. They kind of fell into that like Suns category of like they have no depth right now. Like their bench is nowhere near where they were last year. Their starting 5 is way better, but their bench is nowhere near where it was last year.
That's where Pepe come in and really coach.
I was literally about to say that's a perfect segue for TOT analyst Underdog Cat Slim to come in and let us know who the underdogs for the season are to look out for.
Another underdog, TOT certified. This is what we do. Welcome to the Mole Society. We're down underground. And shout out to Peyton Pritchard. He really has the ability, the capability to handle the pressures of what a now teammate Jrue Holiday would be able to show him just defensively. I think that he has a well-crafted game, has a nice handle, has a point guard IQ, not only just scoring, but being able to actually facilitate for your team. And that means putting them in the places that they need to be. Shout out to Peyton Pritchard. And he got a little bit of work being on the select team that played against your FIBA USA team this season. So shout out to Peyton Pritchard, really rising up with those stars that you see are on the FIBA team. And I think that Boston needs to utilize that man, let him get his PT, and provide the team with what he is.
Who'd they draft?
I don't even know.
Anybody know?
Like I'm just
Not
running
marked
through
yet.
I'm just running through the roster. Yeah, Rob's right. The bench isn't great, but like it's just interesting. Like I just feel like they're very 3-point centric, and I think if Porzingis goes down, Horford can fill that role. But afterward, you don't really have a good backup big, and I think that's something to worry about, especially with a guy with a consistent injury history.
I expect the Celtics to make moves though before the season starts.
Yeah. I think they will. I think they'll sign some vet guy in the middle of the season that gets cut from like a bad team, and it's gonna be like, oh, of course the Celtics fucking get this guy.
You want to know a play I think the Celtics should make is, Dwight Howard's trying to come back to the league. It's a good veteran role player right there that he could help the Cats
I
out.
don't
Like,
hate
He
Dwight
would be
Howard.
a terrible influence on Deuce, bro. He would overload the zest meter.
I mean, off court aside, like I think Dwight could actually be a decent help, and especially if Porzingis goes down, let's hope not. It's a guy that knows what he's doing out there. I mean, he might be a little old and a little out of touch, but
Let's do quick X's and O's. I think it's just going to be interesting for guard pick and rolls, not on switches. I'm saying like Tatum and Brown doing weird actions together. They were starting to touch on some weird stuff last year, pick and pop stuff. The plays that they like, we touched on this in the Cavs video, or maybe it was the Bucks video. I feel like they don't have that many sets. I mean, they obviously do, like every other NBA team, but like when we were watching them, like when they got bounced,
versus Miami, they had
nothing.
Yeah,
it's ISO ball, it's hero ball.
It was bad hero ball too. So like,
I mean, yeah, if they're not clicking, it's no one's a hero. I mean, and it's also one of those things too where it seemed like when one night when like JB would be clicking, JT wouldn't be. So it's like they couldn't put together a night where both of them were hot. And I mean, it's not needed because they can still get the win with one of them hot and one of them not. But like, if both are clicking, they're unstoppable.
I don't like Horford in the dunker spot.
He won't be in the dunker spot. They're going to run 5 out.
I know, but when KP's out,
KP is not going to play in the dunker spot. He shoots 7 threes a game.
But you don't know what the fuck they're going to be running. They're not going to run 5 out for 48 minutes.
It'd be stupid of them to change up KP's entire game though, just to fit their offense.
Like he's not like he was legitimately one of the most effective post options in the NBA last season. Like legitimately. So I do think they have to integrate that. We talked about that when they originally made the trade. I just think that Joe Mazzulla I think it's a kind of a thing of him being young. I think he's just so far into the 3-point shooting and the spacing aspect of it that I think 4 out, 1 in with Porzingis is going to be interesting. And I'm also very curious to see the Horford and Porzingis lineup. How is that going to work? Are you going to have – I think you have to have Horford in the corner and you have to have Porzingis and vice versa, like switching from high post to corner. And then you have your strong side and weak side action, obviously. But I think, like, as long as they don't shy away from getting a Tatum in the post, I think that's going to be very important this year. I think Porzingis in the post is going to be very important. Like, those kind of things in, like, the short corner are going to be massive for the Celtics so that they can slow down the pace if they need to and have to be efficient at doing it in scoring in that way. But just selling out for the 3, I feel like, is going to get them in a lot of trouble, and I'm hoping they don't do that as just a fan of basketball. But, yeah.
Pick and pops for Porzingis.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. That's a thumbs up for me.
What is this?
That's me saying I'm cool with pick and pops for Porzingis. That's a thumbs up.
Okay. I didn't know if we're doing a thumbs up, thumbs down segment or something.
We should do that.
Rob's glasses. Porzingis pick and pops.
But Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see the Celtics. I mean, we could just go around the horn here and say, do we think that they're right now a better basketball team than the Bucks on paper?
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
Bro, we talked about this in the Bucks video. Think about the lineup. So you're telling me, Jrue? You're telling me, bro, Pat Connaughton and Chris Middleton are going to guard JB and Jalen and Jason Tatum?
Giannis would have to guard one of
Yeah,
them.
but then also like who's guarding Giannis?
Yeah, Giannis would dominate.
It's the same thing on the other. It's
Dame
who's
wouldn't.
guarding Giannis and then Brook Lopez in the paint. Like,
yeah.
KP's going to be the help defender. He's going to get bitched by Giannis. They'll probably try and clog the paint, but then that brings up the thing we talked about in the Bucks video where what are you going to create a great wall of Giannis and there's 40-foot bombs raining on your head? It's going to be interesting. That's a series.
But we just talked about it though. Like if the Celtics are not hot that night, then the Bucks are going to have their way. It's just one of those things.
I'm saying Dame.
Oh, I mean,
it's going to be interesting to see them make the great wall of Giannis where they're trying to stop Giannis and clog the paint with those two bigs. And all of a sudden you got 40-foot bombs raining on you from Dame. It's just going to be crazy. I'd love to see that 7-game series, bro. That's going to be insane.
I'm confused though. Are you were on the Celtics side to start, and then it seemed like you switched to Bucks?
No, I'm saying the Celtics are a better team on paper, but then you guys were talking about how using on the aspect of the bigs, Giannis is going to give them a lot of problems. So then I was strengthening your argument, saying when Giannis does come in there and they have to collapse, it's not as easy as it once was to deal with Giannis because you got 40-foot bombs.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. I think Celtics finish with the first. They're going to be the 1 seed, in my opinion. But then I think in the playoffs, the Bucks are probably going to be a nightmare matchup. So,
yeah,
the Celtics against any other team in the league are going to have a way easier time than the Bucks, I believe. But
what about the Cavs?
Yeah. I think I feel better about the Bucks than the Cavs, which is insane to even think about. Than the Celtics, which is insane. Unless Evan Mobley is just like a dominant force, then I'm fine with it.
But he can handle Giannis one-on-one.
Yeah, no, I'm not even saying that. I was saying more on the offensive end. I think Evan Mobley can guard anyone in the NBA. I'm not like that's, but I just think that for right now, I'm going to give the edge to the Celtics just because I love the perimeter defensive aspect of it. But it's hard. It's a very tough debate, and I could definitely see the Bucks doing it. I just think in that specific matchup, I think being able to throw between Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Jrue Holiday all at Damian Lillard and letting them kind of get rest on Pat Connaughton, who's just mainly like shoots corner threes. And like, I think that's going to be something that's really tough for Dame, and Giannis has to dominate that series. And I think other series Dame can dominate, which makes the great teams great. But
also, besides KP, all those wing defenders you mentioned, like how we said Nets are long, not strong. They're strong, not long. The same way they beat up Kyrie and KD, like, and when they swept us that year, RIP, like they're going to be so physically intense, like giving guards problems, like swarming them, poking pockets, putting arms in their pockets. Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's just going to be, they're going to be a fucking nightmare, bro. I want to play one more thing. I saw
one more question for Rob.
I saw a quote Brad Stevens said for the last 3 years. He would come into the office and ask, what do I have to do to get Jrue Holiday? For the last 3 years. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Jrue Holiday's one of them ones. But, Rob, last question before we get out of here. Besides the Bucks, who is the one team in the East, or, I mean, even the West, that you would be nervous in matching
Lakers. 100% Lakers. They're going to be good this year. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy. Yeah, the Lakers are going to be really good. I think the Lakers right now are the best team in the NBA roster-wise. They have depth, and their starting lineup isn't the best, but it's probably top 5 in the NBA right now.
Media would love a Celtics-Lakers finals.
I'd love it.
Script writers would love that.
That's what Jelani said to us.
Yeah.
I need my lick back from 2010.
I saw Slim trying to throw up the A when you said, what team are you worried about?
Can I actually take that back? I think I have a team that scares me more.
Who?
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets. Psych!
But we'll see you guys next time. We're about to watch the Ahsoka finale. So if you're a fan of Star Wars, go check that out. Link in description. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.